campaign period, and there may have not been time to engage. But I did make a disclaimer: if the need arises, we will reach out so that we will converge again and engage and discourse for the purpose of sensitizing, informing the citizenry, our membership, Gambia and Gambians at large. And God being so good has created a situation that we are meeting here again. But things being all things the same, we still say thanks to God. In all things, give God the glory. In all things, give God the praise. So we're saying thank you to God our Almighty for bringing us back together to talk and discuss and engage. Today's engagement is going to be very, very simple, direct, and clear, I believe, at the end of the day. We have 2 agenda items, and one is for us to give you an update as to where we are from our nomination, the rejection, and where we are with that situation. And 2 will be also to give you information as to the way forward for CA from here to election and subsequently post-election. So it's been bittersweet, of course. If you've been following, you realize we've worked so hard as a party. We prepared so well to put up a candidate, a new party, 2 years or so, putting up a candidate for presidential election. And it would have been, or it will be, our 4th time to do that. So we were very, very ready for that. But of course, we are faced with a situation that is beyond our control. But at CA, we believe in the power of the membership, we believe in the power of the party, we believe in everybody in CA. And obstacles don't really derail us, but we take it as opportunity to pave the way forward, and that is what we are doing right now. Without much ado, I'm going to allow Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, the party leader and presidential candidate, to get in depth to the updates as to where we are with our situation. Doctor?
Good morning, members of the press present here today. Good morning to every Gambian, wherever you are, in the Gambia and in the diaspora. We called here today, the press, to talk to you and to the Gambian people through you, to give updates about the situation within the party and also the way forward. As you are aware, sometime back in September, we got notification from the Independent Electoral Commission that nomination forms were ready, the package was ready for parties to go, that parties who are interested in fielding candidates should go and collect nomination forms in preparation for the December 4th elections. Now, as a political party that has the intention of fielding a candidate, went to the Electoral Commission to receive a nomination package. Now, key within this nomination package are nomination forms, obviously, but also a checklist of the requirements for nomination. And then key within this checklist, obviously, is that every candidate that has the intention to run should, or every aspiring candidate should provide 5,000 signatures. So nomination forms were given to use that as a template, but minimum 200 from each region. Among other things also was a tax clearance for the candidate, but also a declaration of assets as well. A form was given to fill that one, and some other requirements by the IEC. So CA went ahead to prepare themselves for nomination. We started gathering all the documents that are required by the IEC, the tax clearance, the affidavit in terms of the assets declaration. We went about also trying to get the signatures, the 5,000, the requirements for both the national and also the regional level. And everything was set, and a date was assigned to CA, and that date was on the 2nd of November, 2021. And the time was at 11:30, that Citizens Alliance should be at Independent Electoral Commission to file in their nomination for president. At the appointed time and date, CA, after gathering all the documents required in line with the checklist provided by the IEC, went to the Electoral Commission to submit or to file our nomination. Now, at the Independent Electoral Commission on that day, 3 extra documents were required to be submitted by Citizens Alliance, even though these documents were not in the checklist that was provided by the Electoral Commission. One was a letter from the Citizens Alliance as a party indicating that they are going to sponsor Dr. Ismaila Ceesay as the candidate. That is one. This letter was requested on the ground during nomination day, but this letter was not as one of those items that were required by the IEC in the checklist. That's one. Secondly, we are also requested to ask to bring in a campaign itinerary, a campaign schedule. This was also a document that was not indicated as part of the documents to be submitted in line with the checklist. Even though we submitted a campaign itinerary, but we were asked to do that in a specific form, a specific template provided by the IEC, but this was provided us prior to us going for nominations. So we said, okay, that's fine, we'll also do that. The third document that was required was a signed code of conduct. But this code of conduct was also not provided as part of the nomination package, so we could not also bring it. But then they said, well, we can provide that if you need it. So we are given 3 days, up to Friday when nomination closes, to provide these 3 documents. That is, a letter from the Citizens Alliance indicating that they are sponsoring my candidacy, a signed code of conduct and ethics, but also a campaign itinerary in an IEC template. The following day on Wednesday, we prepared all these documents and submitted these 3 documents to the Independent Electoral Commission. Now, we trusted the process, we trusted the entire nomination process, and we trusted the institutions that are supposed to run the elections in this country. So we were sitting in anticipation, waiting to hear from the Electoral Commission through the right process as to the fate of our nomination. Now, to our surprise, on Saturday, it was the 6th of November at 5 o'clock, there was a press conference by the Independent Electoral Commission. It was where we found out that our nomination was rejected on the grounds that we did not fulfill one of the requirements for nomination in line with the Electoral Act, and that is we are not able to provide 200 signatures from the Banjul administrative area. Now, when we received that news at that press conference, we also realized that we have 48 hours to appeal the decision of the Independent Electoral Commission. We spoke to our lawyers and we were advised to appeal the decision. We filed in an appeal. On Monday morning, we took the appeal to the Independent Electoral Commission and submitted our appeal. On Monday afternoon, we got a call from the Independent Electoral Commission inviting us to a meeting at the commission with the returning officer, which is the chairman of the commission. We went there. The chairman was there with the chief electoral officer and deputy vice chair, and also head of IT. We went there with the executive, and our file was shown to us, and they also showed us where we fell short of nomination forms. Now, even though IEC agreed that we submitted more than 200 signatures from Banjul, however, they said that some of the signatures were cancelled out for CA because of duplicate nominations. What does that mean? It means that if I sign for Mr. X, I cannot sign for Mr. Y. But if you look at the forms, those who signed for CA before they signed for the other parties. But the IEC arbitrarily gave nomination date and time to political parties. So it means that if party X is called to go submit their nomination before party Y, but party Y was the first party to be signed for, means party Y's signatures will be X'd. And we think that is unfair. We did not choose the day we are going for nomination. So it's not about when it was signed, it was when it was delivered to the IEC. But the date and time of delivery is decided by the IEC and not Citizens Alliance. And because of those duplicates, they said we lost some signatures, and because of that, we could not fulfill the criteria. Now, we still insisted that. Still, we thought our rights were violated and the IAC did not follow due process. Because the law is very clear that where nomination forms are incomplete, it is by law, according to the Electoral Act, for the IAC to provide fresh nomination and notify the candidate before nomination closes to submit fresh nominations. But that was not done. So we did not hear anything from the IAC. We are not notified that we are short until when we had at the press conference that our appeal was rejected. Now, the following day, on Tuesday, we received a letter from the Electoral Commission that our appeal was rejected. We also spoke to our lawyers, and we were advised that we are unfairly treated. We trust a process that should have been transparent, and a process that would have focused more on inclusion rather than exclusion. In line with the Constitution, every citizen has a right to be voted for in office, but also to vote for in elections. Also, we fulfill all the constitutional requirements in accordance with the law, with the Constitution, in terms of age, in terms of citizenship, in terms of academic qualification. All the constitutional requirements are fulfilled by us. Now, we thought it was unfair, unjust, for us to be rejected or disqualified just because we did not meet statutory requirements which are outside of the Constitution. So because of that, we feel that our rights have been violated, that the IEC did not follow due process in the way they handled our nomination, and then we thought now the best way is to go to the courts and let the courts decide. The courts are here for everyone. The law is here for everyone to protect everybody's fundamental human rights. So we thought that our rights were violated and that the IAC don't act in line with due process in terms of, in fact, the way we are notified of our rejection. The law is very clear on that. There is a process that should have been done to notify us of our rejection, but also not giving a chance, an opportunity in accordance with law and our right to really fulfill the requirements to run for office by giving a chance to fill in fresh nomination forms. Our rights were also violated. So we engaged lawyers. Barrister Christopher Mene is heading the team of lawyers. And yesterday, a case was filed at the High Court challenging the IEC's decision. And then we just got to learn this morning that a day has been assigned for hearing, which is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 1:30. The case will be heard at the High Court. So in the meantime, we want to convey to every Gambian, to all our party members, sympathizers, and supporters, to stay calm while we follow due process, while we give the court the chance to make a decision on this very important, this very critical issue. In the meantime, CA is focusing on this court case. We've already filed a case at the High Court. We trust the process, and we are waiting for the process to make a ruling on this case. In the meantime, we have a case to be heard on Tuesday, and in the meantime, after that, perhaps we'll also seek advice from our lawyers, and they'll advise us as to the nature of this process, and we'll know exactly what to do as a party moving forward. But just to tell the members of the press, to every Gambian, and to our supporters that now the case is now in the courts. It will be heard on Tuesday at 1:30, and we are waiting for that. And after that, we'll now make a decision as to the way forward for the party. Thank you. Well, we can only speak for CA. CA is affected, that we know, and we are seeking redress at the courts. So we can only speak for CA at this moment.
I am Fat Badi from West Africa. This is a rumor has it that you are in talks with UDP and PDOIs. How authentic is that information?
Well, rumors are rumors. Currently, we are focusing on our case in the courts. That's our focus right now. And that's what I can tell you. Anything that changes from that, we'll face the media again and tell them what's happening. But for now, our focus is our case in the courts, waiting for the courts to make a determination.
Go ahead.
So do you have, okay, I am also, and I work with the Pine TV Gambia. Is there any possibility that if at all that your case is being adjourned at the court, are you going to have a plan of joining other political parties?
Well, it's too early for us to decide that. Currently, like I said, we are focusing on the court case, and we are hoping that there'll be redress, and that's our focus now for the court case to go to court. So it will be premature for me to sit here and say if, because ifs are hypothetical. I don't know what will happen, so we are waiting for the first hearing on Tuesday, and then we'll get advice from our lawyers as to the scope and nature of the case, and then we'll advise ourselves as to what the next move will be.
Do you trust the justice system?
Yes, we trust especially recently, yes. We've seen recent rulings that really show that the current judicial system is impartial, and that they follow due process and they are doing their job. So if we didn't trust the process, we wouldn't take it there. We trust the race why we took it there. So yes, we trust the justice system.
Okay, I'm Ismaila Ceesay for Going Out Online News. So CA was one of the parties who signed an alliance with two other parties, GMC and APP. Yeah. So unfortunately, you and Mike, the only two aspirants who filed your nominations were rejected, and then the other one has allegedly endorsed PUIS. So let's assume that you have win the case. Is that alliance? What's the fate of the alliance?
Well, I cannot speak for the fate of the alliance now. Where we stopped was we had decided that we'll go for nominations. After that, we'll sit again and decide. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So for now, I cannot speak on the fate of the alliance because as I speak now, I wouldn't know. We are yet to meet and sit and discuss the way forward for the alliance. But for now, I wouldn't know what's the fate. But for now, as we speak, I cannot tell you anything about that alliance. As we speak, we went through nominations. We did the right thing. We did everything that was asked and required in line with the Constitution and in line with the Electoral Act. And the outcome we thought was unfair and unjust, and that our rights were violated, and that the whole process did not focus on the principles of inclusivity, and knowing that every citizen has a right to vote and not to be voted in office. Therefore, because as a result, we are following the due process to see what the courts will determine. But for now, I cannot answer any question with regards to those alliance talks, because those ones has stalled even before the nomination started.
The GMC, I heard they are going for a protest. Is the CEO also thinking of that?
We are following due process. That's what I've just explained here, that we are going to the courts. We trust the judiciary. We trust that Gambia is a country with laws. We believe Gambia is a country with laws. Therefore, if you feel that your right is violated, seek redress through the right channel, and that is what we are doing.
Lady, madam, you had a question.
Okay. Also, Gambia Talents TV. Naturally, all of that are going on. But I see rejected such candidate.
Jërëjëf fu mu toll nii si jamono yuñ toll nii mooy ne xalaatanguñ loolu noonu ñun dañ façon iine dañoo tawal candidat si présidentiel yu ñëw nii moo tax li nga xam ne loolu la IEC laaj yëpp ut nañ ko ñu jox leen ko so mooy woon suñ iine comme que ñoom ñu ne ñun luñ def matut moo tax ñu génne ñu si loi am na ñun dañ fiil na suñ ak suñu yëllëf dañ ko jalgati kon looy mën a def mooy ne nga dem si kuréel mi nga xam ne foofu la ñoo aatee foofu la ñoo dem ñu xaar aate gi waaye fuñ toll nii si jamono yi nekkuñ di xalaat mbiri fan la ñoo dem ak fan lañ du dem ñun suñ sago mooy ñu taxaw moo tax dinañ dem ba jeex ba gis ne lu loi bi wax loolu dox si réew mi.
Do we have any other questions? Go ahead.
Mr. Ceesay, I'm from Paradise TV. You are claiming that the IEC violated your rights. So now you are going to court. In case if you win this case, do you still have the confidence that IEC are going to operate those on how the laws feel?
Well, the courts are superior. The laws are superior.
Confident that the IEC.
I'm confident that the laws of the country will be followed. Nobody can really, nobody's above the law. No institution is above the law. When the courts decide, they decide. So there is no choice about that. When I'll be confident enough with the court's decision, and I'm pretty much sure that the country is a country of laws, and any decision by a competent court should be followed.
Do we have any other questions? No?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mbokk yi maa ngi leen a nuyu di leen sant leen gërëm fu ñu toll nii lii mooy mbir mi Citizens Alliance yëg nañ ne xam nañ ne te óor nañu ne suñ ak yëlef dañ ko jalgati te fii dëkk bi nga xam ne la dëkki luwaa la kon su demee noonu ñun ñu ngi dem léegi si yoon pour yoon aate mbaadiŋol ko nga faale ñaameng nga jële ko na ñantoo ye wala buusi mbolo e man na ñantoo dinna ko banku dinna ñanto ñanda ka diala so ngaje ko na ñanto je wala buusi mbolo andum bankul ti mialon ko loi bankolong wala momo ni la ñanto buusi mbolo e ma dila wala ye balala kristal wato Citizens Alliance wala ke konkata loi to so kam mo be kala mutanda ko be tembo min to tenting nga di sono tale ko ntol akweta nale ko na ñanto ye balala le odo sani keso nyin mba sambala court le loi to pour loi ya decide ko bita nyameng odo mbal be tentula mbal jela ala baraka.
And I think we have done justice to that. But just to again thank you for your support as always. Thank you for your partnership. You, the media, I always emphasize the media is our partners. That was a promise we made from our Congress, and I think we have really kept to our promise. Just to remind you all, the citizenry, through you, the media, that CA was born out of necessity. CA constitute young, talented, committed, emerging young stars who are advocates of processes and procedures. And we have really demonstrated that from inception to our launching of the party, to our Congress, which was the first since I joined the political arena to see a political party done a process in a transparent way as CA did it, to announce our nominations, to publicize the elections, from our manifesto launching, to the unveiling of the manifesto, to our nominations until here we are. And of course, with such a very difficult situation, we are still calm and collected and following the law and then believing in the judicial system to ensure that the right thing is done. I mean, all of them was fi emon sax mu neex man dama kontaan ne liñ gom ñu ngi ci taxaw ñu ngi koo def xaadi wuñ sonnuñ so di gën a ñaax rek jaay jëfal yéen mi ñoo seetaan di gën a ñaax ñi ñoo toppa ñi ñu gom suñ supporters yi ne bu leen tàyyi li ci kanam rawul bot ñun gom nañ ne loi dina dogal ci nim waree te bu boobaa dinañ continuer di taxaw di def li ñu war di def niñ ko waree wax. Again, thank you very much, and until we come your way again another time, I believe it is to announce that CA has emerged out of this predicament